certain things come natural to me when it comes to humans. I think, again, one of the great things about getting older, I brought it up again, I'll bring it up again. One of my dreams for heaven is you get the answers to everything. I think we all have skills and talents, and I definitely feel like I have a very special relationship with humans. I feel very connected to the other 8 billion of them. I like them.
Yeah.
I believe in them. I believe in us. I watch so many people who are literally scared of every other person. And it breaks my heart. Do you know that I often say, Dustin's about to laugh, I always talk about I don't like dogs. And it's an inside joke to myself because what it represents for me is that people blindly love dogs.
Yeah.
But they don't blindly love people. And I wish it was the other way around.
Why do you think that happens? Because of the media, because of the politicians, the division, the polarization?
Look, the media and politicians have always been around. I think parenting, DNA, it's just how animals work. We're animals. I think there's a lot there. But I think that, I will say this, and I've been spending time on this with myself, cynicism and anger and fear and darkness is easy.
Sure.
Optimism and hope and love is hard. So I think a lot of people just choose the easy path.
Yeah, sure. It's easier to go and destroy somebody's sandcastle, but it's way harder to build your own, right?
I believe in it the most, brother. My favorite, it's fun to say this with this view. I always say, I'm sure it sounds like you've listened to me enough to have heard this before, but for people listening for the first time, there's 2 ways, a different way to say it. There's 2 ways to build the biggest building in town. Build it. Mm-hmm. Or build a little one and tear everyone else's down. And a lot of people choose the latter. And that's unfortunate. And then people get thrown off. Many humans are not strong enough emotionally that when they are hurt, they then deploy that as everyone will do that to them.
Yeah.
And they close up. For me, when people hurt me, when people have bad intent towards me, I view them as an enigma, an anomaly, a rarity. And I believe in that.
I also think that you have a really valuable skill in the future that is this intuitiveness, but it's an informed intuitiveness because your process of for example, the process of creating ads that you share in your book that first start with organic content that perform well in social media, it's an intuition, but it's like somebody that did his homework and then uses that information to make these observations, right?
Yeah, there's momentum. I always had the intuition, but the experience and the pattern recognition and the momentum and then that deep trust.
Yeah.
I trust my intuition in a way that I know most don't, and I wish they did. For me, here's why. When I trust my intuition, it's always a winning outcome, even if it's a losing outcome.
Yeah.
This goes into self-esteem. This is why I talk so much about it. If I worried about what everybody thought about me, I would do nothing. And that's why so many people do nothing. They worry about judgment of others. It's one thing to worry about your parents or your significant others or somebody you admire's judgment, but there's people that are scared of strangers' judgment. And it's really hurt the world.
Yeah, this confidence that you have is because you pursue what really interests you and you have the guts to fail with your own idea, because this term intuition is a really complicated one, because if you're not all in with your intuition, you in a way outsource success to somebody else.
Yes.
And you need to be in control of that. So even if you fail, it's a successful outcome because you're in control of your next step.
It's so well said, my friend, but there's another part of the meal. There's a very key ingredient to make all this work. Humility.
Yeah.
None of that would work if I wasn't accountable to when I'm wrong. One of the quickest ways I know that somebody will be limited in their achievements is predicated on how much they blame others.
Yeah.
Or they complain.
Yeah, there's actually a quote here that says the one person you need to hold accountable is you.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's Accountable Ant, one of my favorite V friends. This room is called Accountable Ant. I believe accountability is the precursor to happiness. I believe it is foundational to happiness. I think when sometimes people hear me say that, they think of themselves right now and they're at home beating themselves up. You're not being accountable. You're being unfair to yourself. Accountable is accepting the truth after the fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I tried to do this, it didn't work. I could blame Dustin, but I hired Dustin to film it. I could blame Dustin, but I could have looked at the edit. If this video, like, once you're just always knowing that it's you, it gets good.
Yeah.
You know? Because then you don't feel like someone else is in control.
Exactly.
The reason so many people are unhappy right now is they've given up their control to politicians. We're in America right now. We are, say Wednesday? We are 6 days away. Most of this country, more than half of it, thinks next Tuesday that they're going to vote for someone. And if their person wins, that person's going to take care of it. That already means they're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you need to build like this architecture of your life that you can hold yourself accountable. And I think a big part of it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is to build metrics that depend on your work and not on other people. Like, for example, if you start a podcast, one big goal could be make it to 100 episodes instead of making it to 1 million subscribers or followers, because it depends on your work, and you create a life that with your work you can win, because then it's another person's game, or there's this external influence, which obviously you prefer. Like, you prefer to have success. You prefer to.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
You got your shit together, brother.
Thank you.
You know, and I see it because I remember being 31 and understanding this too. Now, you have the luxury of a lot more information than I had at 31. I wish. And I don't like using that sentence, but it would have been great. Forget about I wish, because I don't even like it. It would have been wonderful if I grew up in the era, like, it's so advanced on how you're thinking. And I had that naturally. I had a mother that I think was a huge impact, and it just came natural to me. But yeah, man, if you know, I really hope that you get great success, because then you'll have influence. And I hope that kids listen to you.
Thank you, brother.